Let's do it. Let's do it. Do it. Let's do it. And we're live with another episode of BS Busters. Thank you for joining us. I am out of town on my little birthday vacation, staycation in Baltimore, Maryland. Went to the Baltimore Aquarium today. It was amazing. Didn't get to see the dolphins do anything because they no longer do dolphin shows because that's inhumane. Uh, However, I did get to see a lot of other shit, and that was cool. Before we go any further, I'd like my panelists to introduce myself.
This is Kenoshi Nito. Glad to be here.
Glad to have you. So before we go any further, what you been playing?
Um, I haven't really been playing much of it. I've been playing Power World mainly.
Mm, cool, cool, cool.
That's about it.
I have Pal World. I started to play it, but then something else pops up. I was playing earlier this week. I was playing the new Prince of Persia game, the new Prince of Persia Metroidvania, and I was like, this is fine, but I want to play a classic Metroidvania. So I reinstalled Guacamelee, and I started playing that because I love. I'm a sucker for Metroidvanias. I'm really waiting for Silk Song, and Salt and Ash and Cinder, the Gestalt of Salt and Cinder, which that game looks amazing, and it still hasn't come out yet. And I'm like, come on, baby, come on. So I'm kind of a sucker for good 2D style Metroidvanias, um, and now the key word is I like 2D style Metroidvanias. I don't like that 2.5D bullshit. Either make it 2D or do something different. But I don't like that 2.5. You know, it's kind of 3D. Nah, don't give me that shit. Um, that's my 2D snobbery coming in. Yeah, but that's what I've been playing. Um, so yeah. But let's get to these topics. So tonight we're going to be covering just one, two, three, four topics, four main topics. Uh, the first one is a new game from Square Enix vets whom have left the company. Um, Final Fantasy veterans announce a new JRPG, Lost Helden, um, which I'm like, oh, this is cool. The development team's resume includes Final Fantasy 14, Final Fantasy 12, Valkyria Chronicles, Tactics Ogre, and more. So I'm going to read this article. A group of JRPG veterans at Artisan Studios with contributions from Takeshi Oga, Gravity Rush, Final Fantasy 14, and Siren, who will handle illustrations, Hitoshi Sakamoto, Final Fantasy 12, Valkyria Chronicles, Tactics Ogre, who will manage music and audio direction, have announced Lost Helden, a new JRPG for PC and consoles that's due out in 2025. The developers describe the world of Lost Helden as such. Welcome to Era, where every life comes with a price. Every Aaron is bound to one of 7 sins before their first birthday. All their lives, people fight against their urges. A place in the sacred land of Helden is promised to their immortal souls if they succeed. But if they fail and succumb to their sin, a fate worse than death awaits them. Um, Lost Helden's unique painted art style is described as deep 2D and promises a strategic action battle system along with a rich story, deep characters, and plenty of character customization. Watch the announcement trailer at the top of this page and check out the first screenshot in the gallery above. I mean, it looks pretty good. It looks like a more advanced version of those JRPGs from the PS5 era, with like that
Yeah.
matte painting where you were a 3D character moving in 2D space.
Yeah.
Which I always liked that. I thought that was kind of cool. So them bringing that back in a more stylized manner, I'm okay with it.
What's the game called again?
Lost Helden.
Lost Helden.
Lost Helden. Yeah. I have a link to it in the chat, so and it looks good. Uh, I mean, the pedigree
相が伴う土地。すべての就任
makes
が
this
1歳の誕生日前に7つの大罪のいずれかに縛られる。生涯その衝動不滅のしかし者には
and the combat looks very Tales-esque, kind of.
末路が
This is JRPG as fuck.
Yeah.
I mean, my only issue is that it's kind of fucked up that you kind of are fucked before you begin, because before your first birthday you're kind of tied to one of the 7 deadly sins. I'm like, that's just fucked up, man. That's some fucked up shit right there. And if you succumb to it, you basically get like all types of horrible things happen to you. This combat looks kind of cool too. Yeah, man, this looks like this could be fun. Comes out next year. Tell you something, man. Everyone who's like, man, JRPGs are dead. Japanese games are trash. JRPGs are on their way back, man.
Yeah.
Or maybe to be more precise, they never left. Just people just, you know, it's just the support for them isn't there like it used to be, you know. So, what are your thoughts on this? You does it look good? Does it not look good? Do you not care?
I'm not sure because it doesn't show up on. Try typing it in, it doesn't show up on YouTube or anything. So I'm not sure what it
You
even
have to
looks like.
go into the chat section and click on it
Um,
on the link. It'll take you right to it in the channel. It'll go to whatever your web browser is. Nintendo. Nintendo has said, although if you go to Google, let's see, Lost, L-O-S-T, Helden, H-E-L-L-D-E-N, shows right up.
oh, okay.
Lost Helden on Steam. Oh shit, it's coming to Steam. Well, shit. One less reason to boot up my PS5.
Yeah.
Oh, it's also coming to the Switch. Yeah, but yeah, I'm not getting it on the Switch. I like my games to at least be solid 60 frames per second.
Yeah. Yeah, I know what you mean.
Anyway, Nintendo has said it's more important than ever to offer consumers unique propositions in order to stand out in an increasingly competitive marketplace. During a Q&A session following Nintendo's financial results briefing on Wednesday, the company was asked what risks it's especially mindful of as it looks to build on the success of its dedicated gaming platforms and its expanding IP business. Since launching in March 2016, the Switch has sold over 139 million units. Only 2 other dedicated gaming platforms, the Nintendo DS, 154 million, and Sony's PlayStation 2, 155 million, have outsold it. Despite the console's blockbuster success, Nintendo said it's taking nothing for granted given its past experiences with tricky generational transitions. For example, while the Wii reached almost 102 million sales, its successor Wii U sold just under 13.56 million units. For Switch revived the company's fortunes this generation by selling you a Wii U with less power and more portability. We that was my own advertisement. That was my own editorial. That was unsolicited. We approach our business every day with a profound sense of urgency. Nintendo President Shuntaro Furukawa told shareholders, translated by VGC contributor Robert Sefazin. The generational transition of platforms to the dedicated gaming console business is never easy. We have experienced significant challenges following successful platforms multiple times, so we never consider our current situation to be totally secure. No shit, Sherlock. Furthermore, as you pointed out, our business is always exposed to great competition. From a broader entertainment perspective, not only video games, but also various forms of leisure are competitors in this industry. In this environment, there's an increasing need, more than ever before, to continue offering unique propositions to become a brand that customers choose. Although the company is yet to comment publicly, Nintendo's Switch successor is widely expected to launch this year. It's not going to launch this year. After VGC reported last summer that development kits were in the hands of key partner studios. That's probably true, but they're not launching that console this year. Uh,
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna launch this year either.
they're
I
probably
know,
going
I
to launch
know
it next
people.
year.
I know,
Uh,
people over there like at your Spawn Waves and some of your other gaming centric channels are like, yeah, it's set to launch this year. They're probably
no.
gonna announce it in March. It's like, no, they're
Why would
not.
they do that when they could get one last Christmas hurrah this year?
Yeah.
Why would they? That's just bad business.
Yeah, like I said, it's gonna be full of remasters and re-releases of older titles because it's like, well, why the hell not? I mean, it's cheap.
Look, people bought it the first time. They'll
Yeah.
buy it again.
So,
Although the company is yet to comment, okay, while specific details on the upcoming consoles are being kept closely guarded, sources VGC spoke to indicated that it would be able to be used in portable mode similar to the Switch. No shit. Bloomberg also reported last month that the console will have an 8-inch LCD screen when it launches this year, corroborating previous VGC reporting that it won't launch with an OLED screen. To continue offering innovative entertainment that can be enjoyed by our customers worldwide. We believe that continuing with our integrated hardware, software, dedicated gaming console business is the best strategy at this point. So, Furukawa said this week, as such, we are advancing various research and development efforts. Since our products are not daily necessities, if they are not interesting, we quickly lose people's attention. Therefore, it's crucial to continue efforts to make Nintendo feel close, even outside the dedicated gaming console, increase customers who support Nintendo IP over the long term, and maintain connections with our customers. Okay, so basically, here's what I got from that. Their next gaming device is going to be basically more of the Switch. Here's the
yeah.
thing. Because the Switch was very successful for them. Like I said, how much of that is going to be people who are just going to stick with the Switch because why the fuck should they get another like, you know what I mean? Like, or is it going to be like people from the Wii to the Wii U?
Yeah, that's another that's the thing that they'll have to contend with. It'll have to be different, and it'll have to be different enough
I
for
mean, I
people to
don't
go, okay,
I
this,
don't care either way. The way I feel about it is
yeah,
I'm about to say something that's going to make some Nintendo fans angry. I like when Nintendo struggles. You get better games.
yeah,
When
that's
Nintendo
that's
has to work
exactly.
hard, you get better consoles, you get better services, you get better games. When Nintendo doesn't have to try, like right now with the Switch, Nintendo doesn't have to do fuck all of nothing. So they're lazy and arrogant.
The thing is, I uh, I think they could probably they'll probably come out with the Switch 2 and be safe. Will it sell as much as the Switch?
Oh
Probably
hell
not.
no, no! It'll probably crack maybe on the higher end, maybe between 60 and 80
Yeah,
lifetime,
I
which
can see
isn't
that.
bad. That's not bad. My issue, my point is this: when Nintendo doesn't have to struggle, you get a shoddier Nintendo. You get a lazy Nintendo. Like Nintendo, the last 2 3 years of the Wii, lazy, lazy as fuck.
Yeah,
Okay, the Switch, lazy, lazy as fuck right now. All right, they're just coasting. Okay, they're like someone on a bicycle in a race going downhill, and they've got a decent lead, but it's like, look, motherfucker, start pedaling. So right now they're kind of lazy. You know, they're kind
yeah,
of, they're kind of resting on their laurels. Okay.
yeah. They haven't. I mean, I talked about this last night. It's like their interface is awful, especially their shopping store is
Yep.
absolutely a nightmare to
Yeah.
navigate through.
And they're not held accountable for it. Like, how is it that the
Um,
Switch has a shittier UI than the Wii U or the Wii or the
yeah,
DS or the 3DS?
Yeah, it's like the Wii U and the Wii has really nice UIs. They had that nice music in the background. Everything was well organized and easy to find.
Here's a
Now,
question for you. And we can't use the excuse, like the excuse we used with the Wii was, oh, this is the first time for a long time that Nintendo had an online interface. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Whereas they've done it at this point, they've done it like four other times. They did it on the 3DS, the Wii, the DS, the DSi to an extent because that had its own online store as well, um, and the Wii U. So they've made a good online interface four times, like a UI user interface, like with folders where you can organize your shit. And yet, with the Switch, it was impossible. They couldn't handle it. They couldn't do it.
yeah. I mean, I hate to say this, but actually, I really don't hate to say it because I think it's
You're being facetious.
going.
I
Yeah,
hate to say
I think
it.
it's good. I think it's going to be more true as time marches on. When Iwata died, I think he took Nintendo with him. Let's
I
just
mean, I wouldn't go that far, but definitely that level of you had someone at the top who was looking out for the customers is definitely not there.
yeah, yeah,
It's it's not there. Like basically, they're looking for ways to fuck over the customers. It used to be we're going to develop a good product. It's going to have our name on it, and it's going to mean something. You don't have to worry about it. Now it's like, how can we milk these suckers?
yeah. I mean, unfortunately, it's just unfortunate. It's where the entire industry is headed. It's
Yeah,
like,
yeah. How can we
and
milk these suckers?
it's not just video games. It's music. It's movies. It's the. I was listening to actually I'll save that for my free topic. The
All right.
save that. But yeah, but essentially it's all over the place, and uh, they're just looking for a way for people to buy something, and then
Run away with your money
yeah, essentially
and
just
fuck
keep
you, basically. Yeah.
milking them for the same product, over and over again,
Yep. Yep.
without really happening to do anything. Yeah,
Yep. Yep. Okay, so I think we've exhausted that topic. Next topic. Disney is getting back into gaming in the worst way possible. So Disney is investing 1.5 billion in Epic, announcing a new entertainment universe in Fortnite. They didn't say a metaverse, but that's functionally what it is. I guess they saw what Lego did with Lego Fortnite, and they're like, we can do that too.
yeah. We have a bunch of IPs that we haven't ran into the ground yet.
Well, I
We have
mean,
a bunch of IPs that
with
we didn't have
Disney,
destroyed yet with live action bullshit.
well, I mean, I hate to say that. I have to disagree with that. They kind of did run it into the ground. Muppets, Star Wars, they're running Marvel into the ground right now.
Yeah,
All those live action remakes of shit, like shit that doesn't need a live action remake in favor of shit that kind of does. You know what I mean? Um, so Epic, a $1.5 billion investment. Our exciting new relationship with Epic Games will bring together Disney's beloved brands and franchises with the hugely popular Fortnite and a transformational new games and entertainment universe. Walt Disney Company CEO Robert A. Iger said, "This marks Disney's biggest entry ever into the world of games and offers significant opportunities for growth and expansion. We can't wait for fans to experience the Disney stories and worlds they love in groundbreaking new ways."
yeah,
Interesting. Yeah, yeah. I'm about to stick my foot in the ass of this whole concept. Interestingly, the word metaverse doesn't appear anywhere in the announcement, but it's clearly there in spirit. Disney said that alongside games, the new persistent universe will offer a multitude of opportunities for consumers to play, watch, shop, and engage with content, characters, and stories from Disney, Pixar, Marvel, Star Wars, Avatar, and more. Even Epic CEO Tim Sweeney, a notorious metaverse booster, managed to avoid saying the word out loud. Disney was one of the first companies to believe in the potential of bringing their worlds together with ours in Fortnite, and they use Unreal Engine across their portfolio. Now we're collaborating on something entirely new to build a persistent, open, and interoperable ecosystem that will bring together the Disney and Fortnite communities. Oh, that's a lot of techno babble gobbledygook jargon. This won't be the first partnership between Disney and Epic. Marvel characters have played a large role in various Fortnite events, and Fortnite made a prominent appearance in the 2019 film Avengers Endgame. Behind the scenes, Epic's Unreal Engine is used to make games based on Disney properties, as well as an editing and animation tool for film and streaming projects. But the scale of this deal makes it something else entirely. Disney described the collaboration as a multi-year project, and while details haven't been revealed, it effectively opens the door to all Disney all the time in the all-encompassing world of Fortnite. Players, gamers, and fans will be able to create their own stories and experiences, express their fandom in a distinctly Disney way, and share their content with others in the way that they love, Disney said. The size of Disney's stake in Epic, assuming the deal passes the usual regulatory hurdle, wasn't revealed. Epic Games declined to comment further. I've reached out to Disney for more information and will update if I receive a reply. Oh, wait a moment. Now I remember. Conform, consume, obey. Okay, so, yeah. You want to tackle this first, or shall I?
Go ahead. You tackle it first.
All right. So basically, yeah, Disney had their own their own video game companies, and they basically, when Robert Iger came to power, he functionally shut all that shit down. Now that they've basically run all this other shit into the ground that was mishandled under both Iger and his successor, and then Iger came back. Now they're like, oh, we can go back to video games now.
And it's too late.
It's too late.
It's too late. You're
like Fortnite isn't even as popular as it was 3 years ago. Right now,
that and they could have made games during the Marvel hype.
Yep.
When Marvel was at its peak. But
Yep.
they're like, nah, we're good.
We don't need to make we don't need to make no video games. We'll just focus on this shit over here. Like,
it's like you have all these IPs that would make great video games.
Yeah. Where's our Hulk video game? Where's our well, we're getting a Wolverine video game. We got a Spider-Man video game. Where's our Blade video game? Where's our fucking X-Men video game? Where's our fucking Avengers video games? Where, like, all of this like, just like, hey, this is wait,
although I'll say their kart racer looks cool, but it's a games as a service game. I can't.
With lots of microtransactions.
Yeah. I mean, that would have been if that was a full-fledged game, I probably would have gotten it. But since it's this,
I'd pay $50 for it.
Yeah.
$50 for it, and maybe like a $20 expansion with like extra content. It released like later the next year. I would have been cool with that. Nah, we got to nickel and dime the shit out of you.
Yeah, it's and it's not just their Marvel IPs. They got other back catalog IPs as well that they could have. The
Muppets.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm gonna tell you right now. Wouldn't it be cool to have like a sandbox style game set in the Muppets universe? Like, you get to choose a Muppet and then you go around like Simpsons hit and run style in that world, just doing like GTA style missions, but it's in the Muppets.
Yeah.
Like, you could be Kermit the Frog, Gonzo the alien. Yeah, it turns out he's an alien. And just for, I know they split the brands, but like, you could get DLC where they add the Sesame Street characters, the old Sesame Street characters, not that fuck Elmo, but the old ones back in the day that were just terrifying, like Grover. Grover. You can add Blue Man. Like, you could have a series of Grover missions where Grover is just trying to find Blue Man and just fuck with Blue Man. That's his big thing. It's like, not you again. Yes, sir. I have a hamburger. Oh, God, no, not you again. I mean, it would be amazing. But will we get any of that? No, because Disney doesn't know how to make good video games anymore.
Or actually, a 2D game, or a 2D game, and like Cuphead style, based
Yeah,
off a lot of their old cartoons. But that's just too much of a tall order to ask.
yeah. They don't have the wherewithal to do it. Disney is Disney at this point doesn't create good shit anymore. What they do is they buy studios that are creative, and then slowly suck the creativity out of them until there's nothing left.
It just seems to be the entire entertainment industry these days. Like whether that be video games like Microsoft, and then Sony trying to follow suit to mediocre to even less than mediocre degrees, or you have, of course, Disney, you know, buying up all these. Look, they bought up Fox, they bought up Marvel, they bought up they. It's just like what are they doing? Like they're not. It doesn't really seem like much of anything's coming out of all of these mergers.
Yeah, man. I mean, at this point, I think we're essentially. I don't see. I don't think it's. I don't suspect that the bullshit we're gonna get out of uh what's it called? I don't suspect that the bullshit we're gonna get out of I don't. Here's what I think. I think Disney just took 1.5 billion dollars and just threw it into the wind. If they had done this 3 years ago, it would have been. They could have done something. Now, no. People
Of,
are. Fortnite is shedding players. The only time it bumps up is when they have something that's interesting to a new target group, and then they're there for maybe 2 or 3 months, and then they leave again. Like they can't keep people there without spending a ton of money in order to get a new some big name person to put an event in Fortnite.
like I know a lot of kids, probably between like the ages like 13 and 18. Maybe you get people in their 20s, early to mid 20s playing Fortnite. It's like how many of those old characters are relevant to that? To uh, you know, how many of those older characters are outside of Star Wars and Marvel are relevant to that generation of people anyway, I
I mean, I
guess.
hate to break this to you, but well, no, I don't actually. Star Wars is not what it used to be.
Oh yeah,
When I was a kid, Star Wars was like, oh man, Star Wars.
yeah,
If kids today don't give a fuck about Star Wars,
yeah, yeah.
not like they used to.
Yeah, yeah. Like I know a few people in the Zoomer generation that was into Star Wars, but other than that, it's not like it was when I was a kid. It's like when the prequels came out, people were excited, at least for the first movie, and even the second movie. People actually kids I knew were excited for at least all three of them. Um, and of course they re-released A New Hope in theaters. I think it was the mid to later '90s.
Yep, because they were preparing to release the new trilogy, the prequel
Yeah,
trilogy, and so they
yeah.
re-released the old movies, and the people are like, oh man, this is amazing." And I had seen the original trilogy, and I was kind of mad because I was like, what's with all these damn upgrades and changes? What the fuck is this? This didn't happen in the original trilogy.
When they re-released it in
Yeah,
theaters, or
they
when they
re-released it twice. There was the silver edition, which was just kind of like a touched up version of the original, which wasn't that bad. And then there was the gold edition where they added new scenes, like in A New Hope, where they added Jabba the Hutt, like a 3D Jabba the Hutt. like Han Solo's like, "Why'd you say Greedo after me? I got your money. I was gonna give it to you." It's like, what the fuck is this shit? Um, yeah,
yeah,
yeah. It was like, and it just got worse because when they got to the gold edition of Return of the Jedi, they turned like when Darth Vader dies, they put Hayden Christensen. I'm like, okay, I get that you're saying his spirit is there, but he would have aged over those over those 30 35 years, because he was like 30 on Mustafar, and it had been like Luke was like 32, 33. So like it's been like 30 plus years. Like he's not going to be a young dude when he's a Force ghost. That makes no goddamn sense. Anyway,
Yeah. We'll
um
see. I know that they changed some voices in like the Blu-ray when they
oh yeah.
re-released the Blu-ray or DVD. I don't know why they just can't leave stuff alone.
No, that was George Lucas.
Like I get
George
if you want to recolor everything to make it work better on modern TVs and touch up the special
No.
effects.
No,
But
that was George Lucas. George Lucas's big thing was George Lucas is like that guy who is like a chef who makes a really good cake, but he keeps on fucking with it that he makes it worse. You know? It's like, ah, this
yeah,
cake, it's perfect. But if I change it, if I do it, it's like, no, stop, ah, fuck. You made it worse.
yeah,
But
yeah,
you can't say the man didn't have vision, because God knows they could have used his vision when they made that Disney trilogy.
yeah.
That piece of shit.
What a shame.
A
I remember
shame.
hearing people, and I heard people talk about the professional fan fiction stuff, and I was like, and we couldn't have that. That sounded 10 times more interesting than what Disney put out.
But yeah, and Kathleen Kennedy was up there lying. We don't have any source material. That's why we just kind of made this shit up. I'm like, bullshit, bitch.
Hey, it's like none of the people that were involved in this really cared about Star Wars.
No, I mean, except for J.J. Abrams, but J.J. Abrams didn't understand the source material.
Lens flares and shitty dogfights. That they're like I'll get all this got to go back to the dogfights. It's like, especially in 3, where it's just like a bunch of like a little kid just flying ships around
Pew
making
pew
pew pew.
noises. Yeah, yeah,
I
pew
was
pew
like, what
noises.
is that?
Pew 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 pew. I am a. I mean, my God, that shit was so bad. It was so fucking bad. But we should have known something was wrong from that first movie, where basically the whole point of the Force Awakens is they basically remade J.J. Abrams remade A New Hope, but he split Luke Skywalker into two characters. The part of him that was a Force user became Rey, and the part of him that was like, I want to be a pilot, I want to join the rebellion, was Finn. Han
Yeah,
Solo got taken over by Poe Dameron, and Han Solo became Obi-Wan Kenobi. And the Death Star was the Starkiller base. It's like Kylo Ren was not Darth Vader.
and now we have now we use the energy of the sun or this planet to make a giant death. It was all. It
Well,
was dumb. No
they
fun.
were using a planet, a stationary planet that could not move, and using the power, literally draining power from a star in order to fire energy beams that could destroy multiple planets. Here's the problem with that weapon. Eventually, at the amount of energy they were consuming, it was literally taking power away from the planet. So all the rebels had to do was go to non-inhabited planets with no life and use them as decoy planets, so that once they destroyed those planets and they burned out that star killer base would be fucked.
Yeah.
It's like, this is stupid. At least the Death
This
Star
is
could
gonna
fly
be
around
bad.
to other places.
Yeah.
What type of stupid shit is this? Modern Star Wars, though.
Yeah.
Disney Star Wars. Because they think you're too stupid to understand how they don't even follow the rules of their own universe.
Yeah. And then 2. Ugh. 3 was the worst. I mean, the other 2 before that were bad, but 3 was just. It,
It was poo poo.
it was bad.
It was dookie.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have never. And look, listen, I'm one of those people that used to be a huge Star Wars fan. I had all the games. I played like, huge Star Wars fan, and I have never in my life seen such trash before, since, or after.
Yeah, yeah. That should that trilogy should be in textbooks and movie making, showing students how not to run a famous series into the ground.
And
How
they
not to
did.
shit all over its
Everyone's
legacy.
like, oh, we don't need George Lucas's ideas. His ideas are terrible. I'm like, okay, I get. Look, listen, I don't like the prequel trilogy, but you cannot tell me that the prequel trilogy, that if George Lucas had been in charge of that shit, we would have gotten a better series.
I mean, the action scenes were, there's compared to what we got from Disney, in the prequel, at least there was decent choreography. At least you got decent choreography.
Yeah, the fight scenes,
Uh,
I would say the the dog fights weren't as good as the old stuff, but you
yeah,
know, um, not all dog fights are created equal.
yeah, yeah. But you know, it is what it is. They're trying to salvage that franchise to, I don't know. I just know it's not getting any better.
Yeah,
It's
yeah. Well, I
but when
mean,
I
because they
hear
don't
it's
seem
not
to, they
getting
haven't seemed to learn their lesson. Like they're like, well, we're gonna do a series that focuses primarily Rey's Jedi Order, Rey Skywalker. Rey's not a Skywalker.
yeah, they have the this Ahsoka character that they're focusing on, and people are trying to cope with the fact that Star Wars just
It's not good anymore.
it's not good anymore.
Okay. I mean, I hate to say it, this is my cast. Listen, listen. Let me put it this way, okay? Star Wars is a girl you used to fuck around with a long time ago, and then you went back and you thought, well, maybe it'll be just as good as it used to be, and you hit it, and you roll over and you realize, nah, she just ain't no good. She ain't no good no more. It just ain't good. Okay, it ain't good no more.
Yeah,
All right, that was then. This is now.
yeah.
You know, Star Wars has been kind of trash for a long time now.
Yeah, unfortunately.
It's been hot buttered ass for many years.
I was never like a huge Star Wars fan. I didn't hate it, but seeing what they've done to this franchise that has had a relatively rich legacy in the past, it's like wow, man. They cut the head off the golden goose, defeathered it, cooked it, and ate it with a smile.
Yeah, and then acted surprised that it gave him gas. It's like,
Exactly.
oh man, my stomach is killing me. No shit, huh?
Yeah.
Can't
Yeah.
believe that, huh? It's not working out the way you thought it was. Huh? That's terrible.
Yeah, but Disney working with Epic Games to salvage their floundering legacy is
Laughable.
it's comical. Yeah, it's it's laughable.
You know, it's like, yeah, because that's exactly what. Look, let me explain something. You want to know why Disney used to be an amazing thing? Because you got their shit rarely. You got maybe one Disney animated movie every 2 or 3 years, and it was amazing because they had 2 or 3 years to get it to come out. They're oversaturating the market. That's why
Yeah,
Star Wars went out. You got a new Star Wars film every fucking year. You got The
yeah,
Force Awakens. Uh, what was the other one? The Last Jedi,
yeah.
and then The Last Skywalker, some shit like that. I can't remember. And it was like Star Wars was, even the prequels were special because there were 3 years between each movie.
Yeah.
So even
Yeah,
if the
there
movie
was.
was bad, you had long enough to be like, well, it wasn't that bad. It's like, you know, like even the Disney, even the prequels, I can say there were parts of it I liked. I liked the pod race scene. I thought that was pretty cool. It kind of went on too long, but it was cool. I liked the pseudo starfighter scene. I liked how like you basically figure out at the very end of the Phantom Menace. It's like what the fuck is going on here, and then you meet the senator from Naboo, and it's like oh shit, it's like, oh, I'm Sheev Palpatine. It's like, oh, okay, I get what this series is about. I get it. I get it now. This is telling about how Sheev Palpatine destroyed the Jedi Order and became the Emperor. That's what this is.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's the fall of the it's like you watch the original trilogy, you're like, how did they let the galaxy get taken over by space Nazis? This is how the galaxy got taken over by space Nazis. It's
Yeah.
oh okay, that's a story that needed to be told in this universe. And then you watch the Disney trilogy. It's like, hey, remember how we got rid of space Nazis 3 movies ago? We have them again. Again, space Nazis yet again. Not only do we have space Nazis, we brought back space Hitler.
Well, the thing is, yeah, the new trilogy should have just been about rebuilding the order, rebuilding the Jedi Order, and the struggles that uh, would come with rebuilding the Jedi Order. But
That could have been it, or
we,
and hear
we
me out
couldn't have,
here,
we couldn't have that.
or that's a good idea. But here's my personal idea: don't do a new trilogy. Do a series of standalone films building out the universe, then do a new trilogy.
You know
See
what? That's
what
even a better
fans
idea.
see what fans actually like. Well, I'm really interested in this. I'm really interested in that. I'm really interested in this. That would have been amazing. Like, could imagine. I mean, your idea, like, if they had like a movie, like, okay, you've heard of Munich, haven't you?
That name sounds familiar.
Yeah, Munich is this film where basically after the Munich Olympic Games in Munich, I forget which one. Basically, like some Israeli athletes were killed by terrorists, and so Israel sent people to hunt down the terrorists and kill them. So I'm like, oh, that's interesting. What if they had a movie about people who were off planet, like Alderanians who were off planet when Alderaan was destroyed, and it's post Return of the Jedi, and these people are just going around finding former Imperial officers and murdering the shit out of them. It's like Munich
Yeah.
in space. That would be amazing. Like you have the New Republic, like, well, you can't just go around just murdering war criminals. That's they need a trial. There's laws. They're like, fuck your laws. They destroyed our planet. You know, it's like and they wind up getting like a ragtag group of other people who were wronged by Imperials when the Imperials were in power, like a Wookiee who was enslaved, and he's like, "Look, I don't care what they say. I'm gonna rip an Imperial's arm off and beat him to death with it because that's what I got to do. That's what I do." That would have been and like you have maybe a New Republic Jedi hunting these people down, and like a Jedi from the New Order hunting these people down. Like you can't do this. There's laws, and like maybe like a policeman, like a detective. Like, look, you can't be doing this shit. And like the end of the film, yeah, you could have your Admiral, not Thrawn. Who's the other one that they have a stick up their ass about this fucking alien traitor, because the Empire was xenophobic and anti-alien, but this guy was a Chiss and he became one of um their head admirals. Let me look it up. Chiss Admiral in Star Wars. Yeah, Thrawn. I had it right the first time. Grand Admiral Thrawn. I'm like, okay, cool. Yeah, you can have a Thrawn movie, but the end of it better have him getting caught by people who are like anti-imperial and shooting him in the back of the head, throwing him off a cliff.
Yeah.
Yeah, because these people committed war crimes. I mean, they're like, we're not going to be like, oh, there's a redemption arc. Like, Darth Vader had to die for the fucked up shit he did. Palpatine had to die for the fucked up shit he did. You don't get a second chance when you do the fucked up shit. These people destroyed planets, enslaved sentient species, committed genocide on planetary scales. You don't get to ride off in the sunset and have peace after the fucked up shit you people did. Because this is Hollywood and villains don't get away with it typically, unless it's a really dark movie, like No Country for Old Men, where Anton Chigurh just killed a lot of people. Got away with it. But yeah, man, we could have gotten that. No, no, fuck that. We can't have good things. We gotta have that bullshit
Well,
we got.
the problem is we would need people in charge that actually
Gave
gave
a
up.
fuck.
Guaranteed.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
And
that's
I
the
mean,
problem.
if you're looking for Kathleen Kennedy to give a fuck, I mean, between Dave Filoni, who keeps on jacking off and being happy about characters he created, like what's her name, fucking Ahsoka, and Kathleen Kennedy, who doesn't give a fuck about the fan base or the core or the canonical material. It's just you're just gonna get trash. Like, they have the wrong people in charge of anything and everything. But enough about that. That was a rant. I went off on a rant. Um, Speaking of ranting, FTC, the FTC is going back. They're saying that they filed a complaint with the federal appeals court over Microsoft's plan to lay off 1,900 employees from its gaming division, saying the move contradicts Microsoft's
Oh,
commitment to maintaining the studio's operational independence while the FTC pursues its case against the merger. Microsoft completed its takeover of Activision Blizzard in October 2023, almost immediately after UK's Competition and Market Authority reversed direction and approved the deal. I guarantee some money probably traded hands on that. The U.S.
yeah.
situation is a little bit more complicated. The FTC managed to block the takeover, but a request for a temporary injunction against it was denied, enabling Microsoft to move ahead with the takeover, even though the FTC hadn't given it the green light. In essence, this means that if the FTC ultimately prevails against the deal, Microsoft will have to effectively unacquire Activision Blizzard. A move Microsoft said its ultimately successful argument wouldn't be a big deal because the post-merger company Activision Blizzard will be structured and operate in a way that would readily enable Microsoft to divest any or all of the Activision business as robust market participants in the unlikely event that such a divestiture is ordered. Fuck, that's a lot of business gobbledygook. In another filing, Microsoft said concerns that the companies would not be able to return to a pre-merger state were unwarranted because Microsoft intends to operate Activision Blizzard as a limited integration studio. But the planned layoff of nearly 2,000 employees, announced just 3 months after the completion of the Activision Blizzard deal, has the FTC calling foul. In a letter to the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals via The Verge, the FTC said the layoff announcement contradicts the foregoing representations it made to this court. No shit. Microsoft reportedly has stated that the layoffs were part of an execution plan that would reduce areas of overlap between Microsoft and Activision, which is inconsistent with
Wait,
Microsoft's suggestion to this court that the two companies will operate independently
wait,
post-merger, the FTC said.
wait a second. A multi-zillion dollar corporation keeping its promises? Man.
You mean they lied?
Not
You
keeping,
mean like every
not
other
keeping.
fucking merger that happens where they have redundancies? Like, we don't need two heads of software engineering if we already have a software engineer, head of software engineering.
Yeah,
Like,
another
this
news,
is,
water's wet.
and syrup is sticky, and grease is oily. Ah, in other words,
Yeah,
in other news, gravity pulls things down.
yeah, yeah,
And that's hot stove. That hot eye on the stove is hot. Don't touch it. You might burn yourself.
man.
uh,
Oh boy.
anyway, let's see. Moreover, the reported elimination of thousands of jobs undermines the FTC's ability to order effective relief should the pending administrative proceeding result in a determination that Microsoft's acquisition of Activision violated Section 7 of the Clayton Act. It seems unlikely to me that the FTC has a hope of winning its case against the acquisition. Irrespective of Microsoft's alleged maneuvering, it's pretty much a done deal at this point. Nevertheless, it deserves a fair shot at doing so, and I can understand why the agency would be a little miffed over this added layer of complication and entanglements. It's also interesting that the complaint cleaves fairly close to a point the FTC made in its initial opposition to the acquisition, that Microsoft made multiple Bethesda games exclusive to Xbox after acquiring the studio, despite assurances it had given European antitrust authorities that it had no incentive to withhold games from rival consoles. In other words, what Microsoft says and what it does aren't always perfectly aligned. I've reached out to Microsoft for comment on the FTC complaint and will update if I receive a reply. Look, listen, okay? It's not the same thing, okay? Bethesda is a small third party studio. Yeah, they branched out. They bought a lot of other studios. But if you buy a small third party studio, you can say their games are only coming to my console. Now, if Microsoft bought EA, Ubisoft, Activision, now we got a problem.
Yeah.
Because Ubisoft, Activision, Blizzard, Activision, EA, those companies have always been multi-platform. Whereas Bethesda games, yes, they came out on other consoles, but the target audience for a lot of their games has always been on Xbox and PC.
Yeah.
But what do I know? I'm just some guy. Anyway, anything you'd like to add before we move on to the last bit of the cast, sir?
Well, I expect more layoffs to happen until the next big hype happens. So from from all these big tech companies.
Yeah, it's sad, but that's the word. That's the world we're living in.
Yeah.
I mean,
They get
really,
to buy
unless what?
they get to buy their third yacht while you had to struggle buying well, I know the holidays was past, but there was a lot of firing, before the holidays, so they get to buy their third yacht while you get to struggle buying gifts for your family.
Yeah,
Great.
yeah,
Fantastic.
yeah, yeah. If you're a single person, hey, what do you get for Valentine's Day? Nothing, because I'm broke, bitch. You're lucky we got a place to stay, and my I got 6 months of severance. that's
Yeah.
that's the shit we have to deal with, folks. Sad, but what are you gonna do? So you said you had a free topic you wanted to discuss?
Yeah, I was talking about, I think there's going to be a resurgence in media and a resurgence in like physical media. Just essentially because there is these streaming companies, even these gaming companies. You're not only a resurgence in physical media, but you're going to see piracy go through the roof, just because of how these companies are screwing people over. Uh, you know, raising their prices and taking away, things that people bought, and just it's going to be interesting. It's like everybody was in a rush to uh, you know go for streaming, and for obvious reasons. It's super convenient, and
Yep.
you have more content. You have access to more content for a relatively decent price. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, they used to be decent prices
I mean,
a
even with
month.
the
Where
price increases, it's still like if you physically bought the amount of content you have access to with streaming, you would spend more than what you spend on all. Because think about it, even if you have like me, I've got like seven streaming services, and I pay around 100, no, like $80 a month.
Yeah.
$80 a month. Um, get my calculator out. $80 a month times 12 equals nine, a little under a grand, okay, a year. But guess what, man? If I wanted to have all those movies and TV shows in Blu-ray or DVD, I'd spend way more than that for all of it. Plus, I'd
Yeah.
have to have space for it, so I'd have to spend to have space for it, and I never would have enough space for all the media I have access to.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. But
So
it's
it's still worthwhile. It's still a worthwhile purchase. It's just they do have people over a barrel. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Because there's shit that's never been digitized. Like there's shit you can never get on digital.
Oh yeah. My sister had a problem trying to find old horror movies uh, that aren't on streaming services. I mean, you just can't buy them anymore. So, or you can't. Some of the stuff you can't even buy physically anymore.
So your only option is
The
to
streaming.
either stream it or pirate it.
Yeah. Yeah, they've been locking it. They've been locking everything down. Like when it comes to sharing and stuff like that, like sharing your account. Like they've been really Netflix has been cracking down hard on that.
I mean, they're all shutting it down. And I can't
Yeah.
like I know some people are gonna get mad by that, but I'm like, look, listen, if your ass look, you sign a contract that you're gonna pay them so that you can watch that shit. It doesn't kind of work if you're sharing your account with other people. And the way I
Yeah.
feel about it is if I'm spending, $80 a month for my entertainment, then why the fuck would I give you my access to my account so you can watch my shit that I'm paying on? There ain't nobody I'm that fucking close to.
Yeah.
Now I know some people like, well, my kid who's a college student doesn't have a job. Okay, your kid who's a college student doesn't have a job. Okay, cool. They're a college student, they don't have a job. Fair. Okay. You can let that go. But once you get over 25, 26, and you still sharing passwords, I'm like, don't you have a job? Can't you afford some of this shit yourself?
Yeah.
I know some people are gonna get mad by that, but but that's my own personal opinion. I could be wrong,
Yeah.
but I agree. There has to be some change. I don't know when it's gonna happen or how it's gonna happen, but there has to be some change.
Yeah. 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 At some point, they're gonna have to. They're gonna have to. I don't know. At some point, there's got to be some kind of middle ground that they can reach pertaining to these streaming sites. But
I mean, the closest you're gonna get is like Netflix and like a lot of these sites. Even if you stream it, they allow you to download the stuff on your phone. If they expand that to where you can download it to wherever, or even if they allow you to just make physical copies of your games, I think that would be better than what we've been getting. You know what I mean?
yeah,
You should be able. This is my own personal opinion. You should be able to make a copy of your games or your. I mean, because you can make copies of your DVDs and Blu-rays.
Yeah.
then why can't I make copies of my video games?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I agree.
So my shit should just be like, I shouldn't be able to do anything.
Yeah, they just want to have full control over everything that you buy from them, so that they can either sell you another one of those things,
Yep,
or force you to upgrade to another one of those particular things.
yep, that's what it is. They want to control all aspects of how you play your games, and I am not down with that. I've never been down with it. I don't think anyone should have that level of control over how you do whatever you do.
Yeah.
And I know some people are gonna get mad. They're gonna be like, how dare you?
Yeah, I don't know.
But that's my opinion. Like, no one should have, like, really, I think in a perfect world, once you buy a game, you should have the right to create a digital copy for yourself to back up your library of physical media.
Yeah.
That should be part of your rights. Because if you have a digital version of something, like let's say you have something on Steam and you have a digital right to it, even if it's removed off the store, you can still download it. There's an
Yeah.
archived version of it that you can download anytime you want. And yet, physical media, they're like, oh, don't do that. I'm like, I should be able to do whatever the hell I want
Yeah.
because it's mine. I spent money on it. I put money into it. I should be able to do whatever I want to with it. But I could be wrong. I'm just some guy. It's what I know.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, you got anything else to say before we wrap things up?
No, I'm good. That's all I got.
All right. My hot topic is quick and to the point. Um, this is to echo my sentiment from yesterday. It's about Nintendo. Um, Look, listen. I know you guys are trying to get views and whip up views. Look, Nintendo's not releasing a new console this year. They might announce it this year, like at the end of the year, like have like or the beginning of next year, like January 1st, New Year's stream or some shit like that, the first week or whatever. They are not gonna, because look, they have games they want to sell. They want to get that last good holiday sell. You know what I mean?
Yeah, one of the big games that they announced at the end of the year was that uh I know what people are gonna say. It's a remake, but Paper Mario Thousand Year Door.
Yeah,
There's a lot
people
of
love that
people
game.
that didn't. People love that game. There's a lot of people that haven't played it.
Yeah.
So
For old heads like me, we love that game. For people who never played it, we're going to be like, this is why all the other Paper Mario games are shit. Play this one. You'll understand. We want people who never played it to play, be like, oh my God, they've been giving us trash all these years. And we're like, see, you get it. You understand. Hold them to a higher standard and stop accepting their mediocre bullshit.
yeah,
Intelligent Systems used to make good Paper Mario games.
yeah,
Um, that's what we got to do, sadly. It's a sad world that you live in where you got to tell someone, hey, man, don't accept this mediocre bullshit. But yeah, yeah. Stop sitting there being like, oh my God, well, they got to do this. Come on, man.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
that's my own personal opinion. That's the end of the cast. Anything you want to pimp out before you wrap things up?
I won't be having a project console next week, so I might end up doing like a short video talking about certain things that have popped up when it comes to gaming. So I might do something like that. I'm not sure yet, but only if something pops up.
All right. This is Mr. Red Fox, owner proprietor of BS Busters. Thank you for joining us for another cast. I will not be having a cast next week because Tuesday I'm going to be getting some work done on my vehicle, and I don't know how long that's going to fucking take. And Wednesday I'm going to be out getting my pipes cleaned. So I don't.
Valentine's
Hey,
Day,
look,
huh?
man, it's Valentine's Day. I gotta get some work taken care of. I got business to tend to.
Yeah, look, man, I get it.
I gotta
I
get my coals raked. All right. So
get
I will try and record a video, like do an hour-long video where a long form visual essay, audio visual essay, and I'll try and upload that next week. I'll probably do two. I'll do one for Tuesday because we won't be having a cast Tuesday, and I'll try to do one Wednesday as well. But as far as me doing a live show, not happening. Won't be doing it. I'll be out and about, or maybe in and out, whatever. Anyway, I will not be in.
it.
Peace. Y'all have fun. Enjoy your holidays, etc., etc. Goodbye. Arrivederci, and drive safely. Go all the way to my YouTube thing. Ending stream.
You